Huge episode of the Mish and Zach podcast this week. We've got the incredible Geraldine Hickey in the studio with us, and we're talking everything reality TV, and Tom got us all a coffee about halfway through the pod. What a scoop.
Mish and Zach.
Hello and welcome to the Mish and Zach podcast. I'm Zach. I'm one of those two names you just heard in the name of the podcast.
I'm the other one. I'm Mish.
Mish is here. Mm-hmm. We've got a very special guest this week. Geraldine Hickey is a comedian, radio host, comedian, one of the best stand-up comedians working in Australia.
Easily.
Always was. The term comedian gets thrown around a lot, and usually that is like, when you hear comedian, you think douchebag New York man. I want you to reimagine comedian. Think of comedians you like. Then think, all right, who's someone they've always respected, who's someone they always said should be in bigger rooms. It was always Geraldine, and then one day...
I did it.
You did it.
And you did it just on being good at comedy.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think there's something about
I'm bad at intros.
No, but I reckon like being called a comedian's comedian by another comedian, that's great. That's like yum.
Respect.
Wonderful. It's if someone referred to themselves as a comedian's comedian, that's
Yeah.
when the line of douchebaggery, I think.
But then if someone outside of the comedy world, just a punter, calls you a comedian's comedian, then they just see you as unsuccessful.
You're the rare
true.
breed.
They must be a
You're the rare
comedian.
breed of comedian's comedian who is also an audience's comedian. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much
Thank
for having
you
me.
so much for coming on. Sorry about that awful intro.
No, it wasn't too bad. You'd think that we'd only just started doing this podcast. We have been doing it for so long now, Zach. Like 6-7 years we've been podcasting.
Like pre-pandemic.
Yeah. We did a
Yeah.
podcast we started in, let me give you the history. You did ask. We started in 2018, but we did a podcast about MasterChef.
Yeah.
And we recapped every episode of season 1 of MasterChef as if we were in 2009.
So we didn't know what was
I'm
gonna
surprised
happen.
you'd never heard of it.
How long? So how long after how many years?
About 10 years. We were doing it around
What a great
2018.
idea.
And
I
so
love
that
that.
would be things like we were like, the first episode, we were like, I love this George guy. And then like episode by episode, we kept talking about how generous he was. And then 4 episodes in, we were calling him Socialist George.
I don't even know who George is. It's been so long.
George Columbaris, mate, he's around.
That's a guy
George.
who pays his workers.
Yeah.
That's a guy who pays his workers there.
There's this amazing episode where someone puts up a piece of expensive steak and he's like, you can't just be throwing money around like that. Like, give me a second, because if that's 500 grams, 25, just give me a sec. Won't take me long. I'm very good with numbers. It's like, are you, mate? Are you?
And then we spent the whole episode talking about that. And like we were also the first, like we were shocked by when Matt Preston did like the first. That was disgusting, disgustingly good. The shock of that was like, I thought he didn't like it, and then
But he did.
he
Are
did.
you a MasterChef fan?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in many years, and now you see that they're bringing back all the second place. All the losers are coming back for another shot.
Yeah.
And some of them look vaguely familiar.
Yeah, but a bit drunker.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more affected by drugs. But truthfully, they're all just a little bit more saggy. But also the thing with MasterChef though, because a lot of people, like maybe like half a dozen, have been in our DMs about doing another MasterChef one. But I think it's lost its charm when it got bougie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, it was like, can you make mac and cheese?
Remember in the first, you had to cut onion.
Yeah.
And a lot of them failed.
No, just like truckloads of onions, and you had to cut onion. I'm like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
I can
see
cut an
that.
onion.
There was also an episode where they presented tofu and everyone's like, what is that?
Oh,
That's gross. Whoa. It was crazy.
I remember in season 2, there was a woman who came on. She was sort of being framed as the next Julie Goodwin. She was the home cook that maybe had it, and then she cooked. They were like, make your comfort meal, but then everyone broadly knew do the comfort meal but elevate it. But she did her comfort meal, and it was like chicken tonight cooked in a microwave.
A carbonara with cream and sweet chili sauce. That was on pasta.
And the two of them, the two chefs, were like, this is disgusting. And then Matt Preston, who was trying to frame her and get her to be the next Julie Goodwin, was like, there's something about the crunch of the lettuce and the microwave chicken that makes me feel like I'm in your home. It's like, oh, Matt, it's good, bro. It's all
let
good.
it go.
Yeah, let her go.
Are you a reality TV fan?
Yes.
Well, you've been in one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, sorry. That was not a
that.
setup at all. Like, you kind of have to say, yes, I am.
I could. I know where your mind went. You went MasterChef. That's reality. What other reality TV show? Are you a fan of? Like, what other?
Where I'm a fan, so I try and bring it up as often
We're
as
actually
possible.
secretly the smoothest interviewers in the world. We
I know
knew
you're-
from the start that we were going to talk about
You
your
probably-
experiences.
You probably
jungle.
think we're being quite pathetic, but in
No.
truth, it's all sorted out.
No, you're on my level. I love it.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, some reality. Yeah, I'm into it. I love the like something like MasterChef where they have to do something,
Yeah.
and it's not just about their personality.
Yeah,
It's those like MAFS. I cannot
yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
or like I'd say that most of the problems of the world and Australia especially come from MAFS and
Yeah.
its popularity.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Without a doubt.
It's like there's experts, but it like anyway, we could get real dark and serious.
No, it's the funniest layer for me is, and this is really something I cannot, I can't figure out how to say this in any way that's entertaining, but it's this way that, like, people comment on MAFS as well. Like, people I agree with are like, his behaviour was outrageous. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but you're feeding into the machine. Like,
Yeah.
they wanted his outrageous behaviour. Like, that's why they put the crazy man in the show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know enough about what's going on, but it is truly an
But it's
awful,
like
evil
people
show.
that people that don't know, haven't had, seen what a good relationship is, and then they watch that show, and then they see someone, be outrageous, and outrageous is the wrong word, like violent or whatever, and then the expert goes, oh well, it's just men being men, and then they go, oh that's okay.
Yeah. Or they'll do something horrific and then we'll be like, that's awful what you did. But then like 3 episodes later, they'll be like, I reckon you need to leave her alone. And they're like, he's all right.
Yeah.
I reckon redeemed.
Yeah.
Redeemed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hate that.
No, thank
No,
you.
thank you to
thank
that
you.
one.
Get rid of that one.
But
No, yeah.
but other where people like I love like the British Bake Off or the Great Pottery Throwdown.
Oh,
The woodworking one. Have you seen that?
no.
Yeah, good with wood.
That's
Oh, that's
incredible.
good. That's
I
very
love
clever.
that.
Yeah, that's
I liked
good.
the glass blowing one.
Yes. But now not so much. Like I don't know. It's
No, I
just-
only watched one season of it.
Yeah, and then there was the flower arranging one as well.
That's delightful.
There's just nothing better
They
than
did that-
Netflix getting a bunch of experts in a room for 4 days, shooting
Yes.
18 episodes,
Yeah.
and be like, "Thanks, everyone. See you later."
That's
See you,
what I
mate.
want.
Didn't they do one with balloon animals?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I don't know if it lasted, but it's like it should. Like,
Did you see the one where they did barbecue and they're like, you have to do a barbecue, like old American barbecue, and they're like, you have to do this like barbecue, but you have 1 hour, and they're like, we can't do that.
and then it ends, credits roll. No,
Which is every episode was like, no, that's not really
It's not. It's raw.
every episode.
this is gonna taste like shit.
It's a little bit tough. Yeah.
Probably. I always said like I think I would be awful on any reality TV show. I can't see one except
I would.
I would do the Bachelorette if I was the Bachelorette and not in a committed monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
But I would be the Bachelorette.
Really? You
I
would
think
do
it would
that?
be so. They would never But could you imagine if
Would
they
you
did?
actually do it?
Yes. Yes. If someone came to me and went, we want you as the Bachelorette, are you kidding? That would be so funny.
So worried.
But how
that
do
they
you
would-
handle, like, you know, kissing a boy and then kissing another boy, but them living together?
That's hot.
Yeah, all
I think it's kind of sexy.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be more so. I think I would love to be the Bachelorette because there's never been a Bachelorette like me.
Yes.
And I think I'd like to see how the men react to me being the
Yes.
Bachelorette. Like they walk out
Coming
the
out
limo,
of the limo.
Hello. Hi, boys.
G'day, boys. There you go.
And-
Siggy and Mel. G'day, boys.
Yeah, come on over the couch. I'll shove over for you.
Shove over.
How have you been? You live around here?
I found season
Don't touch me.
I found season 2 of MasterChef on Daily Wire. We're watching that.
They'd be coming and going, hang on, I thought this was the Bachelorette, not Farmer Wants a Hubby.
Come on, love.
Come on, like,
love it.
they should
And
do
just-
a gender reversal. Same way they've done Bachelorette.
Yeah.
They should do Farmer Wants a Hubby.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, love, here you go.
Hello, boys.
I don't know how you doing in those little apartments up there.
But to see like 50% of the cast, the men, also have to like, because they're there to build some form of profile, having to be like, wow, she's beautiful. I'm not like, I'm not saying I'm not hot. I'm saying because I would literally be like, hello. How you going?
Hello.
And then all those weird photo shoots they make them do, like the
Yes.
next date, we're going to go down the beach and do a sexy photo shoot. I would just be like, I'm not doing that.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. I don't want to do that. If you boys want
boys
to do
have
it,
fun.
boys off your pop. I'm going to get ice cream.
I was going to say, what if it involved ice cream?
Yeah, gorgeous.
All right.
Okay, you got me.
That's very fun. Do you remember when they did Nerd?
Beauty and the
Oh,
Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
The Geek.
Geek.
Beauty and the Geek.
Beauty and
And
the
then
Geek.
they did the twist. Before it was all sort of set in stone, and now it happens every season. I remember the first season, the makeovers was like a twist, but then the big twist was hunks come in. Do you remember this?
Oh, but yeah.
So like,
Yes.
so they did Beauty and the Geek, and they were like, we're gonna have these women fall in love with the geeks, and you know, maybe they'll stop being so shallow. The geeks can be shallow, but they can. Maybe they'll stop being shallow. And then, like 2 episodes from the end, they did this big twist where a bunch of like hunky
Hotties.
dudes,
Hotties.
hot dudes came in, and then it was like, now the challenge is, now that you've gotten to know these geeks, will you? And they're like, no, we'll go with the hunks.
Yeah,
next
right.
year.
Yes.
I like the hot one.
We'll go with the
But
people
also,
that like
that's
match
more
us.
their people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about looks. It's about,
This is
you
a
both
person.
like,
Yeah.
We
you know,
both
getting
like
a
healthy
tan.
food,
Great.
going to the beach,
Yeah.
going to the gym.
It's really hard to relate to Gerald, who just loves Legos.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We don't have much to talk about. He really likes quantum physics. And like,
This
But
guy.
did you see that there was on the American season where 2 really did fall in love?
Oh, that's
And
nice.
it was so beautiful. And there was one where he got eliminated for whatever. And then it was during her, like, talk with the, you know, going, oh, yeah, I'm just going to really miss him. And I think we had a real connection. And then he burst in. He, like, jumped over the fence and
popped
ran
through the backdrop.
and just came in, and he like got back onto the set, like, and broke in and was just like, oh, I love you. And it was just,
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was-
That's very Truman Show.
Yeah.
I love it.
Run away with me before they all find
Run
out.
away.
Dad's here.
Oh, Tom, Dad's here. Daddy's here.
Tom went off to get us coffees.
That's mine.
You probably
Thank
thought
you
this
so
was an
much.
episode sans Tom. No, Tom is here, but he went to get us coffees. Did you get a coffee for yourself, Tom?
No.
Oh,
What are you
Tom.
Why didn't you?
Don't
Do you want
have
my
the budget
coffee?
You?
He can have a
Oh.
boss can.
There you go.
Oh,
Strong.
thank you. Strong oat.
Yeah, you can have your boss
Cheers,
can.
cheers.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
the coffee.
Yum. Cheers.
Wait, that's half time.
Add time.
Ad time. Let's go to an ad. Sorry, I still don't know what these mean.
Time out.
That look, it doesn't. If I went like that to you, do you go that's time, or do you
No.
go that's
time out. That, like,
Time
pause.
out. You also
Yeah,
go,
have a
that's
break.
the signal. That's the signal that we discussed at length on podcast what it means. So whatever
It drives me-
you go to
It drives
what do you
me
think this means doesn't have the same impact. If I told you this means got cut to an ad break.
Yeah.
What would you think this means?
Cut to an ad
Yeah, that's the context you need to give before you get support here, Mish.
But also that, like, even without knowing,
Yeah.
I know that doesn't mean it's all over.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because to me, that means
So to be clear, we're
time.
making the timeout signal. Now,
Yeah.
as we say the timeout signal, everyone listening knows the show.
if you're all right, fine, let's go to an ad because it's halftime.
No, halftime that's a different sign.
Oh, what's the halftime sign?
I don't know.
It's like a big
Yeah,
horn.
yeah, just a big horn.
Okay, fair
Horn.
enough.
We can't do that. Anyway, let's go to an ad break now. When we come back, who knows what we'll talk about? Hi, welcome back.
Hello, thanks for having us back.
Thanks for having us back. I was very subtly hiding there. I like the most immoral of the reality shows, which is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, just Beverly Hills?
Just Beverly Hills, yeah. I've been told other ones are great, but Beverly Hills, they're the richest. And I don't know why, but that makes me feel a little bit better about how evil the producers are to them. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And also there's something to how big their houses are. I tried to watch Real Housewives of Melbourne. I've talked about this on the podcast. I tried to talk about Real Housewives of Melbourne and they were just like, I live in Hawthorne, which is basically the Beverly Hills of Melbourne. And you're like, no. And then there'd be other bits where it's like, I have a walk-in wardrobe. It's like, yeah, I guess you can step into that one. I live in an apartment in Toorak, which is basically the Beverly Hills of Melbourne.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, I need a new dress. And they go to Chadstone.
Yeah. I think I'd start watching that, and because I have watched, the Real Housewives.
Oh, you like the Real Housewives?
No, because I'd start watching and go, what? I don't.
Yeah, I
can't get into I can't get into that world.
It's evil. It's evil what the producers do to those people. But there's...
I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, I think...
More yourself and what it does to you after you watch it.
It is like unlistenable. It's very much like high camp meets like Uncut Gems level of screaming over each other. Like it is an unlistenable show.
Yeah.
But there's something about it that I just think is... What I love about it more than anything is... I think I've said this. Have I compared Real Housewives to Greek tragedy on this show before?
No.
Okay, well, there we go. The thing I love about Greek tragedy, which is the oldest form of drama, arguably, drama, not storytelling, is it's not about right versus wrong or good versus evil. It's about two different opinions of what is right.
Yep.
There's like two people who both believe they're right, are both right in their framework, battling it out because there's no easy answer. So the only solution to that is tragedy, which I think is such a beautiful reflection of the world
See,
and
mate,
life.
this is what I need.
Yeah.
This is what I need. Because, there's people that bang on about, those reality, like Below the Deck, oh, I love it, And then there's people that talk about, Real Housewives or those types of shows. And these are people that I respect. And I love them and I go, but why? Because I love and respect you, and I really, you're intelligent people. So, and I can see that you really do love these shows. So, what am I missing?
Yeah,
and I've got to look at it like it's a Greek tragedy.
I don't know if it helps. I don't know if my over-intellectualization helps. But I do love that. I love that it's like drama where often the thing that the drama is built around wasn't captured on camera. So it's the only kind of easy drama today. Everything else is so good and bad, so didactic. It's the only kind of easy drama to watch where you don't know who's in the right. You'll never know who's in the right. Often, even if someone was in the right, what they then did in reaction to someone's reaction now puts it's so like
See, but
messy.
I watch it and go, they're all wrong.
Yeah, that's what I love.
No, but see,
I get what you're
I did a
saying.
show about it last year about how I didn't base an entire hour off this, but how Love Island and Greek mythology have a real connect. The people who love Love Island could really get into Greek mythology, because I did. Last year when I was unemployed, I got really into Greek mythology, which I was so confused about because it's just not in my wheelhouse. But then I'm like, oh, but I love X on the Beach. And then I was like, oh, wow, it all makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And it's because Greek mythology, there's a real humanness to the way that they react to things, which I really like about the gods in Greek mythology. They're very kind of... There's wrath and revenge and jealousy and all of that.
And
kind
often
of stuff.
it's just
the horny, very
let it go.
horny.
Both, or everything we've talked about would all be solved if you just let it go.
Just take a deep breath.
Yeah. Take a deep breath. Let it
Yeah.
go. And I think there's something really impressive and like it hits the same part of the brain, I think, where you're just like, it's almost like a tragedy is a lesson for you to live your life differently. And I think there's something in that.
I think it is for me? I don't like drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
Like it's like this. If you just said, "Oh, I'm sorry for picking up your dog," and rather than arguing for 50 minutes about, oh, I wish you didn't pick up my dog and he doesn't like to be picked up, and, oh, she shouldn't have picked up his dog, and, oh, yeah, she didn't even ask to pick up his dog, all that, don't need it.
Don't need it.
If you're
Don't
on
need it.
you're on
right.
a train, yuck. But if you were on a train,
Oh, where's it going?
where's the train on into?
Where do trains
Yeah,
go?
where to go? I don't know. Let's look it up.
No, but are we on
to the office.
Okay, like just like
city.
a PT train.
city.
Yeah. Public transport, just a train. You're not. It's not like
As opposed to a
Hogwarts.
private.
It's not like
Been on a few
private.
trains.
It's that one in Scotland that goes to Fort William. No, it's like just your public transport train, and you're sitting there just having a good time, whatever. And someone starts having an argument behind you, like a little spat. Do you change carriages, or do you eavesdrop, or do you just try and block it out? 100% I eavesdrop.
100% I eavesdrop.
Oh, if I can,
Yeah.
I'll listen in.
Yeah.
But what are they arguing about?
It's interesting.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, you're
I'll
in. See,
stay.
that's, to me, watching Love Island or X on the Beach it's a similar thrill to overhearing something. But I'm not a huge, I've said this heaps of times before on the pod, I'm not a huge fan of MAFS. I'm not a huge fan of Beauty and the Geek. I'm not a huge fan of something about the UK ones that really slap, because they really do just go, well, let's just put these crazy people together in a room and see what happens.
There's something happened in that country, something that there's something about an empire that has fully collapsed. It's just a joy to watch.
Oh, that's so
But also
funny.
they, it doesn't rate it as well, the UK one. Like it doesn't have the cultural impact that the Australian one does in Australia.
Yeah.
And also, knowing people that have been on reality shows, like I'm a fan of The Individual.
Yeah.
Fan of The Individual.
Well, it's a whole other world.
Yeah.
It's it really is like a whole. I've met a couple of people now just in like circles that have done. That's their job, is to kind of go to different reality TV shows. They're lovely, they're wonderful people, but it's a completely different. It's a different set of skills, and it's a different world altogether. Like,
They have skills, don't they?
they
It's
really,
amazing.
really do.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I'll say about Real Housewives, right? Is there's this, when you first watch it, it's like, what is this? It's like improvised drama, but sometimes based on their real life, sometimes, and then when you realize there is kind of a game structure to it, and the game is they have to get in enough fights, they have to bring up enough of their personal life, that they get another season, that they get enough screen time.
Oh, that's right, because they get dropped, don't they?
They get dropped. So once you realise there's multiple seasons, you start to see that they have to bring in enough to stay on, but then they also have to protect their personal life because they're human beings and they don't want to... And they also can't be so aggressive that none of the other housewives want to do scenes with them.
Yeah.
So when you see that that's the game...
It's a delicate balance.
Isn't
you
it
go,
just?
oh, okay, there's actually like a game that they're playing, and then you start to see the ones that get 10, 12, 13 seasons, and just the way that and often those ones are in it enough. it takes them like 4 or 5 seasons for you to realize how evil they are because they seem really nice. They seem really chill.
Yeah.
They're always like
They're
trying to help.
sensible and
then you're just like, wait a second, they're always in the middle of everything. And then you realize, they're the best player in this game.
100%.
And
I
then-
will say this though, just a quick comment on a Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
Right, because that is one of my favourites.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
top tier.
Yeah.
And the reason I love that so much is because the stakes are not that high, but the tension is. Do you know what I mean? The need to make the
What
best.
do you mean the stakes aren't that high? You want to be... You want to be number one.
Well, no, true. But what I love about it is at the end of every episode, they go, so this is Star Baker, the best baker of the episode, and then go, unfortunately, I've got to send someone home. They announce who has to go home because they made the worst
And they
flan.
alternate each week.
Yeah, they alternate because
Yeah.
they don't
Who
want to be
says
the
it
bad
loud?
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then they say this person, let's just say Mary, made the worst flan. They're like, Mary, it's your time to go. And instead of Mary going like, no, Mary's just like, oh, all right.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Well,
I
that's
knew
fair.
it was
Yeah.
my time.
Yeah, it wasn't a good flan.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have done a better
No,
flan.
thank you so much. This was lovely. Yeah.
I knew pastry week would get me, and
I said I should have used a firmer butter.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, Mary. So that's all right. I'll see you
that's
guys
okay
next
then.
week.
I don't know
It's
why.
fine.
then
got
they all
Mary
do.
like
They all
me.
catch up at the end.
Oh,
So
that's
they
nice.
go and
Yeah.
visit each other.
I should watch that one.
It's
Oh, it's
so
lovely.
lovely.
Yeah.
Because even like during it, when they're like, if someone's fucking up their bread, and they're like, oh, I've fucked my bread up. Someone behind them's just like, oh, Gerald, it's all right.
Yeah, and they help
Oh,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Oh,
Let's
that's
definitely.
nice.
Oh, that's just needs to be neat. Oh, there you
They're
go.
like, you've got, 30 seconds left. And they'd be like, Mary, can you come and help me?
Mary's flan's all fucked up. Yeah, all right.
Come
I
on.
already know my flan's not going to come out well.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
It's so good.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Hey.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things.
Oh, yeah, no,
One
please,
thing.
sorry.
It's not reality based, but it's about no drama.
Mine's reality based.
Okay, let's go reality. Then I'll do my no drama. Then you keep the podcast on track.
Just wanted to know, what did you think about the reality show I'm a Celebrity?
Get me out of here. Good thing you asked there, Jess.
I thought I'd give you a respite.
Yeah.
We'd give you a respite.
No, because I'm not going to lie. I was going to bring it up more, but I'm like, I don't want to be those people that just like, I'm just like, so what did you think of
What
the
was
jungle?
that like? What was that like? Yeah.
Was it so much fun?
Yeah, I liked it. It has, its ups and downs, obviously, and because it was like the first night in there, because I've never done reality TV, and I was in there with other people that have done reality TV.
Yeah.
And I, it was later on, like people would, we'd talk about, oh, who did you think wasn't going to last? And everyone was like, you.
You?
Yeah, they didn't think I was, because the first night I was in there, I learnt very quickly that I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do when I wanted to do them.
Yeah.
Because I came in, it was covered in slime and stuff, and I was just like, oh, that's all right, we'll go into camp, we'll meet the other campmates and pick a bed.
Yeah.
And then I can go and have a shower and,
Yeah.
But they didn't bring our clothes in, and then they're like, oh, no, we've just got to go do this first, and you're going to meet, and dinner's coming in a minute, so you got to work out who's cooking dinner and stuff. And then they got the stuff in, and like I took out my contact lenses. I said, oh, that's all right, I'll do that, and I'll put my glasses on. But they hadn't bought my, my toiletry. I had no glasses, and I'm just sitting on the stage going, where's my fucking glasses?
The fastest to snap on a reality show.
Just like, so I go, where is this? Like, just lost it. And people were like, oh, God.
So how long were you there all up?
You were
Like living in the jungle?
Like you were
28 days all up. And
Far out.
so and so we got out like the day before the win, like the top three.
Yeah.
That's
So they stayed in there 29 days all up.
So my thing with that, right? My question with that would be, like, was it because I guess I'm trying to because
How did I get to the top 5?
No, it's because you're
After
a cool
such a horrific
person.
start, how the
Because you're a
fuck
cool
did you
person
manage?
and people like you.
Yeah.
I know that. No, my question would be like, I think the thing with those shows is famously with a reality show that isn't celebrity based, the producers are really manipulative and et cetera, et cetera. Did you feel?
There was manipulation for sure.
Yeah.
But it was just about, things like you know, like with the food, they would, you know, when we first got our rations, and it was, you know, because we'd get oats and rice and beans, and so for the rations, they first put it in like in individual bags for the rice, and so they were like, you would have to go to the talkie, that's the, you know, little booth to talk to the producers, and they're like, oh, so you've got your rations there, now tell us about how, you know, it's a small bag, isn't it? How are you going to get through? That's not much rice, is it? Oh, is that all you get? Oh, I can't, you know, just tell us about that. And I'd just be like, yeah, but that, when you cook it, that expands. So,
It seems all right.
Yeah.
No, I watched it quite a bit with my partner's an NRL guy. And
love Sam Tyday.
Loves, right?
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, this is great. I'm like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad Geraldine's on this. And I'm a big Reggie fan and have been since
she
day
was
dot.
my favourite. Yeah.
Seeing you two together was joy. Just
It
like
was-
absolute joy. And I mean, people have probably been talking to you about this forever, but you did a clip or a clip was released of you and Reggie having a chat about gender.
Yes.
And it was so, I had a little teary. And I thought it was so beautiful. And the two of you together was just like Australian television, just joy. And I just
Yeah.
loved that. The combination of you two was yum, 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 yum.
Because she was so naive about stuff.
Yeah.
But would say, I think she was talking about someone that she did something once with, or maybe there was a next Big Brother person, and she's like, yeah, she turned out to be a carpet licker. And, and then turned around and then tried to apologise. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's all right.
Let's bring that one back. I actually quite like that one. Let's bring it back. No, it looked like fun though. Like, I mean, from an outsider's perspective, but again, I don't know how long I would last in that situation.
You'd be fine. Do you know what? Your world gets smaller.
Yeah.
And so you just get used to it. You just have like a new routine, and it's just one day after another, and you're fine because you know it's not going to be forever.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah.
But I always think that as well on like, I didn't see this episode of I'm a Celebrity if it did happen for you guys, but on Survivor, because I'm a big Survivor fan.
Oh, yeah.
Huge Survivor fan. When they get their letters from home and they're just like, and they all start weeping. It's like, it's been a week, man. Like, are you kidding? My partner like rocked up on Survivor. If I was on Survivor and I'd been there a week and he rocks up and he's like, surprise, I'd just be like, how are you?
Hey, babe.
Fuck, it's been a while, babe. How's the dog? Like, oh, yeah, no,
I
good.
was so, because in I'm a Celebrity, it gets to the stage of you don't know when, but there's a possibility that your loved ones might come over. And the further along I got, I was like, please, oh gosh, I hope Kath comes over, because I'd lost a contact lens and she could bring my spare over.
Yes, that you see Kath and you start weeping. I haven't been able to see properly for 25 days.
Yeah.
If anyone listening wants to know what like true love, a long-term relationship is, that's that. That's like
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
She did bring it over. Anyway, it was great.
Oh, good on her. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I was going to say one thing about Star Trek, so I'll keep it brief
Okay.
because Mish hates Star Trek, and I'm guessing you're not a big Star Trek person.
I watched it, no.
The one thing I was going to say was that the second one, Next Generation, the creator of Star Trek had this rule where he's like, I think in the future everyone at work will get along, and all the staff writers hated him for that because they're like, we can't have interpersonal drama. But that challenge, I think, makes it such a special show to watch. Talking about the fact that you don't like drama. There's like one episode in particular where, because different people are on away missions, the third in charge, who's a robot, but that's all right, the third in charge becomes the captain for a time, and then the guy underneath him is insubordinate and corrects him and fights with him. And then they have this confrontation scene, and it's one of the greatest moments in television, I think, for someone like you, where he pulls him aside and he's like, listen, I know we have different opinions, but I'm the boss right now, and I would appreciate it if you didn't confront me in front of people. And
Good
you're like, oh,
communication.
drama. And then he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise that was happening. I'll do better. And then it's over, and it's like,
Oh, that's nice.
what a joy to watch.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
good
beautiful. Anyway,
We should do a quick round of...
what's something cool you watched this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're shooting a bunch of these, so we can. I reckon we're gonna have a shared one.
Yeah.
But I reckon we save that for the next podcast.
All right. Yep. Cool.
And let's start with.
Do you want me to go first?
Who wants to sing it? Tom, do you want to sing it?
Yeah, Tom, sing it.
What's something cool you've watched this week with Mish and Zach?
Yeah.
Great.
Good stuff, mate.
Great. Good stuff. So
All right.
we just say something cool we've watched this week.
The Pit.
Yes. I'm so excited
I
about
haven't seen
this.
The Pit.
Oh, you love drama.
Yeah. I'm 3 episodes in.
Really?
That's it. We only
Yeah.
just started because I started watching it, and halfway through episode 1, my partner came into the room and he's like, "Oh, what you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, this new show. It's called The Pit." And he goes, "Oh,
Now this is the one with
Noah.
Noah
no,
Wiley.
yeah." And I'm like, "It's just a show called yum." I'm just like, "Oh, it's a show called The Pit," and he goes, "Oh, started a new show without me." And I'm like,
Oh, come
on, Matthew."
Now,
So
to
I
anyone listening, that's the other side of a long-term
Yeah.
relationship, the dark side.
that one was real dark. But no, so then we're watching it together. So we're watching like an episode a night. And so we're 3 episodes in. But isn't it fucking great?
I can't wait.
Yeah. Honestly.
I was real sad when I caught up
Yeah.
because I was watching it became my routine after, during festival.
Yep.
Come home, pop an episode of The Pit on, and then go to bed after that.
Yeah.
And then I caught up and I was like,
What the fuck am I going to do?
We've received DMs about it. I've received DMs about it because we did 12 episodes of ER. John Leguizamo on Leguizamo did 12 episodes of ER. And something we noticed was the fact that good writers used to do network TV and they all moved to like HBO and everything. So like 10, 20 years ago, network TV had great writing,
Yeah.
right? Still does sometimes, and then someone was like, well, ER's back, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta watch it. I'm so excited to watch it.
It is, but it isn't like ER.
No, because it's elevated.
Yeah, it's nothing like
HBO.
Grey's Anatomy. It's like, it's really it's like, it's to time, right? So it's like every
time,
it's
yeah.
real time, and it's just so.
Do you know it was
fun.
originally
Like,
pitched as an ER spin-off?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was originally his character from ER, but they couldn't get the rights, so they sort of changed it up.
Also, I can't remember how many episodes in I was before I made the connection of Noah.
Yeah.
Just went, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But I did know that before I started watching it as well. Like,
I was
just
a big
didn't-
Donnie Darko teen boy. Loved my Donnie Darko, and he's the teacher. Him and Drew Barrymore are like the cool teachers in that, and like so he's got a special place in my heart because of that film.
He's
like,
always ER to me, although now he's The Pit.
Yeah.
Because he really is The
Yeah,
Pit.
my friend, and probably your friend as well, Nicolette Minster, made a Dr. Robbie T-shirt.
That's very good.
It's
right.
That's
Yeah.
very, very good. All right, I will do what's something cool I watched this week. Watched quite a bit this week because I was going home from Comedy Festival and putting on just movies that just kind of
Yeah.
that were very easy to take in. Okay. Because I've been speaking about the last few, I'll speak about these ones as well. I'm currently rewatching the whole Scream franchise. Scream,
fun.
the original, is my favorite movie. So I've watched the first 3 Scream movies 1,000 times, but I haven't watched the later ones that much. So I've been rewatching the whole franchise, and I've just finished 4 and 5. So
I
I've only
love
got one more to
that
go.
this your like go to wind down.
Yeah.
It's a horror film.
Yeah, no, I love a proper like slasher.
But do you know what you're saying? Like, I wouldn't be able to watch. The reason I haven't watched The Pit yet is I couldn't watch that during festival time. Like,
Too much.
It's something that you've got to like pay attention to. Like, although I've been watching The Studio, and that's really like I need to watch something that's like not like full comedy because I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But I can't do full drama either.
Yeah.
I have to it has to be something kind of in between.
Yeah, I started watching The Rehearsal, that TV show, The Rehearsal, and it's so funny. But I was like, I can't consume anything that funny right now.
I get it.
I can't take on anything that funny right now.
Yeah.
But no, the last two I watched, 4 and 5. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're not the same as the original trilogy at all.
No.
Particularly 5 was
Well, 5's new directors. It's the first one.
brand new, no
directors.
Wes Craven. But I still really, really enjoyed them. And I think there's like real, they have real merit. They're not as good, but I think that you have to remove yourself from comparing them to the originals.
Yeah.
And go.
I'm going to go on a little Scream journey after
It's
this.
so fun. It's very, especially with 5, it really does separate the generations. And you just find yourself being like, well, back in my day, that's not how, they didn't have mobile phones in Scream, and now they have them. And it's like, well, yeah.
What I loved about 5 from memory is I remember, have you seen any of the Screams?
Yeah, I've seen like I think, yeah.
The fifth one, I was really excited to see something that would comment on like horror now and like elevated horror. And then I remember being really disappointed as I was watching it. I was like really disappointed that I was like, oh, they're just talking about Scream and they're just sort of doing fan service, and they're not engaging with what film is now and how we relate to film now, and it's such a good series to do that. And then as the film goes on and you start to realise that it's a film about fan service and it's a film about like people's desire for things to be the way they are, and people getting obsessed with like the aesthetics of the thing they love, not the meaning of it. I was like, wow, this is the perfect example of having your cake and eating it too. Like, it's so well done. They do the fan service film for those that want that, and then they go, but this sucks, doesn't it, to those that don't. And it's an incredible balancing act of a film. Something cool I watched this week, I can't remember because it was kind of actually 2 weeks ago that I watched it. Have I talked about Strange Days yet?
No.
So I went and watched Strange Days at Acme. This was a film I knew vaguely about it. I thought it was a drama. It's the film where the sample, right here, right now, comes from. Right? So it's Angela Bassett in this film, like throws Ralph Fiennes against a wall and goes, right here, right now.
Angela Bassett does it. I love her.
In the movie, right? And that's the one fact I knew about this movie. And then I saw they were playing it at Acme. Me and Alexi were doing our show at Acme. So I was like, I'm going to go in. I went in on one day off. I was doing vocal rest, so I had to be like, like
Did
waving.
you sneak in?
No, like I had to pay.
Oh, okay.
It's a government building.
Did you illegally watch this film?
No, they're very, very fancy there at Acme. And I like went in. And I only learnt 2 weeks ago because of Alexi. It's actually like a cyberpunk film, but not in a way that would put you off, Mish. It's set like it's got one matrixy element, which is like people can record their brain signals and then they hack into themselves. But it's set in the not too distant future. It's Ralph Fiennes as this like underground guy that's like selling these tapes of like you can go into the experience of any other person. So like a person like. It's this thing that it becomes this illicit sort of almost drug trade. Angela Bassett is this limo driver, like martial arts trained person. It's the most incredible performance.
When was it made?
1995, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm watching, I'm like, this film, it's not, like, it doesn't all kind of click, right? So, I can see why it didn't, like, hit. But the fact that it's not a bigger cult classic, the fact that I'd never really heard of it, it's like, Angela Bassett is so cool. The thing I said in my Letterboxd review is that Ralph Fiennes, I finally understood why that Qantas flight attendant risked everything for him. I was like, oh, I get it.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That's all I think about.
Literally, I was just like, I never understood. I'm like, for Voldemort? I'm watching this film, I get it. And I'm watching the whole film and I'm like, who directed this? It mustn't have been someone big because I didn't. And then at the end, it's Catherine Bigelow who
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was
Juice Bigelow's sister.
Juice Bigelow's sister.
That's crazy.
And then it's co-written, co-devised by James Cameron. It's this
What's it
fascinating.
called?
It's called Strange Days, and it's like just this incredible. And Juliette Lewis is in it, and she's like incredible. I also like got her for it's the three actors. I finally like got them at a much more fundamental level. It's really it doesn't all work, but it's so cool and it's aesthetically so interesting and so of its time. It's made in 1995, but it's set 2 days before the year 2000. So it's like all
Love
about
that.
like
Yes.
you know,
I love that.
And it's somehow in those 4 years, like this crazy technology gets invented, but everything else is just slight decay of society. Catherine
I love
Bigelow
that.
vibes. So cool. And then the whole time you're watching, I'm like, how am I gonna... And then she says the line. That's the one thing where she says, and it feels like it's higher in the... It is an insane moment where it's like, it sounds like she's doing the bit from the song. It sounds like they've dubbed
she
it.
is.
Yeah. She is. It's insane. Anyway, check it out.
That's so good. Very, very quickly, because I want to ask Tom something cool he watched this week, because I saw it on your Letterboxd, mate.
What did I watch?
Zootopia.
Oh, yeah, I watched
Yeah.
Zootopia last night with my son, yeah.
Nice.
Which is such a good movie.
I think it's really great, and I was really shocked that they didn't have a sequel. And then there's one coming next year.
Yeah,
but I was like, it must have been a flop. 10 years, no sequel.
Oh, Zootopia.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Utopia.
been many seasons of Utopia.
Yes, he's quite scared. You watched it with your son? What the fuck? Your son is 2.
He loves, never too young to learn about red tape.
No, Zootopia is sick. And I just want to quickly squeeze in before we announce what we're watching for Leguizamo-Rama, a fun Angela Bassett fact.
Yeah.
Literally this morning, my partner and I went and got coffee, and we were drinking coffee and put on Kindergarten Cop because it was the first thing that popped up.
Kindergarten Cop.
Dude, she is stewardess number 2. And she comes out and she goes, "Is everything all right?" And it was like seeing a ghost. I was like, that's Angela. It was right before she would have made it big. It was literally, she was a featured extra in Kindergarten Cop.
So now imagine
great
that
movie.
feeling, but one line is a sample from a Fat Boy
Oh, I'd
Slim song.
piss myself.
It's insane.
I would absolutely piss myself.
Did the audience, was there an audible sound from the audience when...
I think there was a vibe. It was a very chilled out Monday night screening at Acme, but and of cool people watching a cyberpunk. So I think it was like,
So there was
that's going in the letterbox review. I think we all said that in unison.
Yeah.
I'll think of a pithy remark about that. for
You
the
all look
Letterboxd
around.
review in unison. 20 people
and you all do a
spread
secret
out.
handshake with each other.
Oh, we're going to put that in our letterbox review.
Thank you so much for joining us today, by the way. Geraldine,
you,
this has been a
Geraldine.
joy.
I've had a nice time. Thank you.
We do hope you join us on Thursday for
Yes.
Leguizamo-Rama because we're talking about one of the big ones.
Arguably the biggest request from people.
Yeah.
Oh, what an honour.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
You're
Huge.
welcome. We are going to be talking about Moulin Rouge.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Wow. One of the big ones. You know we're nearing the end of Leguizamo-Rama when we're
Ripping out the Moulin Rouge.
ripping out a Moulin Rouge.
You just go back around again, don't you?
Yeah.
That's how we're
Yeah.
going to do this forever.
In 4 months when we finish this up, we're just going to be like, so Super Mario Brothers again. Is there anything that you want to let people know about?
Anything?
Where can they find you?
Where can they find you?
Oh yeah, on the socials.
Yeah.
Geraldine Hickey, Instagram. How old are you? TikTok on there sometimes, and just around.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Tom, for the coffees.
Thank you.
And we will see you on Thursday for Leguizamo-Rama. If you're into that kind of thing, if not, we'll see you on Tuesday for the Mish and Zach podcast every single week with this fucking sexy background that we have that we did not address.
Well, because I didn't know about release order.
No, we're going to do the next one first. So that's
Oh,
good.
okay. Well, there you go. Whatever.
Which
You
you all
can
know
cut that
about
if you
this
want,
full
but also
backdrop.
I don't care. See you later. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
The Mish and Zach podcast is recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We believe that our collective culture will never reach its full potential until we embrace the history and the truth of the oldest cultures of this land.